Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? Great, I hope, on this Thursday. I have so much fun stuff to blab about today. But one thing I wanted to put out there, let's see, is anyone here? La la la. Oh gosh, I always have stuff to talk about. Hey Keely, Lenora, Nancy. Hi Joe Davis, how are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you all. So I was thinking today that it might be a cool thing to go back over our basics of coloring with colored pencils. So I thought we could try a couple of different things. I thought we could try watercoloring a base of color and then adding colored pencils on top of that, and also just coloring an image with just colored pencils. And I can kind of show you my little technique with that. Does that sound good? Hi Julie. Hi Tracy. Be sure to send me your email address so that I can add you to the email list so that you can know what's happening in the world of Corbiere-Scott designs. So if you're brand new today, please follow me at Corbiere-Scott Designs on maybe on Facebook and Instagram. Then please join our private Facebook group, Let's Get Artsy with Corbiere-Scott, and that's where you're going to send me your email address as one of the answers to the questions. If you are already a member of our group and you haven't sent me your email address, please DM me your email. It's super important, and it's super important that you open the emails, because remember I told you that MailChimp will knock you off if you don't open so many emails. So just make sure you open them. And I try to keep it short and sweet. I try to keep it fun. And let's just get painting. So remember my art paintables are available at Corbiere-ScottDesigns.com. So today I thought we would play with, hi Jan Schwartz. I thought we would play with my new mom art printable. I have 2 new ones coming out next week, so be on the lookout. So I have a couple things to, so I'm just going to start painting, and I wanted to ask you all, hi Suzanne, hey Barbara, if you had, I have some new art printables in the works, but I'm wondering if any of you have some ideas for things that you'd like to see. If you do, put them in the comments, and I will put them on my list of art printables you'd like to color. So I'm going to just start, let's see. So this is on 120-pound regular old cardstock. It is printed with my laser printer, so my lines are not going to move. But remember, we talked about that you can do that with your inkjet printer just as long as you heat set it. And I would heat set it and then let it sit overnight, let it kind of cure. So I just do a nice watercolor wash. I just like to add bits of color. Hey Carmen. Ooh, fall stuff. That might just be one of the things I'm painting. So, let's see, what else do I have to say? So, I'm still on the prednisone. I'm not feeling as jittery as I was. That was so weird, and ugh. It's like, how do people do this all the time? It's really uncomfortable. Let's do this. We did the center of that one, so let's do this one. The petals orange. Just kind of in an orange mood. You know, I never used to love orange, but now I'm kind of digging it. Maybe I keep hoping that it'll feel nice and cool like fall if I use fall colors. I don't think so, but you know. So prayers to our friends who are down on the Gulf Coast. I'm so sorry that that is happening to you. Holy smokes, I sure hope that things, that you are left unscathed by this natural disaster, that's for sure. So is anybody painting along with me today, or are you just watching? Can I tell you, I'm so excited that we made, hi Debbie Fredette, thank you for your purchase today. It's not allergies, I don't think. I think that, no, I have this weird rash on my arm, Julie, and I went to the doctor, and she gave me some topical cream and the prednisone, and an antihistamine to help sleep and that kind of thing. And so it's all helping. You know what, I will say, whatever it is, the combination of these things, I don't know which one it is, but I haven't been itching, so that's a great thing. I just, I'm ready for it to be gone, because I just look, like I have leprosy or something. So I'm just going to come in and do our pounce, pounce, pounce thing. Remember we talked about right there at the center. I'm just going to add a little color. Remember, this is on cardstock, so we don't have as much time to pounce out that edge, right? So we need to come in pretty quickly after we apply that, unlike when we're using watercolor paper. So we're just going to, little by little, work that color out from the center. Rinse off my brush and tap it on my paint cloth. And then there. Look at that! So pretty. So I'm going to try to do the same here. Rinse it off. Oh, Julie, cool! I am getting ready to start my next state stitching. I'm drawing a bunch of them still. Hey, Denise. Have you started any of them? Debbie, I am not using watercolor pencils, but you absolutely could. I'm just using regular, I'm just using my Prismacolors today. But I will say I did go on a little excursion yesterday. I went to Dick Blick out in Tempe. It's a big art store here, and I found some new new to me colored pencil. So I have a few polychromos. Those are the highest end from Faber-Castell, and I have Faber-Castell watercolor. You know, seriously, I have so many. So yesterday, of course, I went and bought these. And these are by Faber-Castell, and they're called Gold Faber. And they are a student beginner grade of Faber-Castell. So I just thought that would be a interesting thing to give it a try. Where polychromos are kind of oil based, these are wax based, like Prismacolors are wax based. So I thought that it would be Julie, are you the one who's doing the Michigan quilt? It seems that we've talked about that. Absolutely. I will absolutely use watercolor pencils. So why don't we do that next week? You know, I have every kind of pencil and paint and, you know, of course. So let's let that dry and we'll come in with some, my plan is to, hi Debbie Miller. Oh, Bonnie Miller. Hey Bonnie Miller, how are you? My goal is to paint this one and then do some colored pencils over here. Hey Kim. So I'm just working my little palette over here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but let's do blue right here. I just want it nice and bright. And I like to just kind of get a base of color down. It doesn't have to be perfect. I kind of like when it has some white showing through. Oh, thanks, Julie. I just like it to look painterly, you know, because that's kind of my jam. But I will say, I'm so happy that the other day I did some finishing techniques, because then I have 3 cards that are all done. I'm sure you all understand that. I don't know if you, like I, have this stack of things that are painted, but I just need to put them make them into cards. So, and then that kind of motivated me to die cut some more bases and, you know, think up some new ideas. So I'm hoping to do that again in September, to do another finishing techniques and ideas. All right, let's see. Is it hard to turn CV into cards? What do you mean CV? What does CV mean? I don't know what CV means, Julie. Let's see. Okay. Resume what, Keels? All right. So I'm just, you know, I don't know why I feel like these roses have to be red or pink. They don't. They can be whatever colors we want them to be, right? Mm-hmm. Let's make this one red too. I just like to just, like I said, just get a little wash of color on there. Doesn't have to be perfect, because then we're gonna, you know, we're just doing, I just like to do artsy cards, you know. I just like them to be I like to use all the colors and all the mediums, you know. I like to layer colors and colors and colors and textures and all of that. So let's see. So now I have this pretty purple, so I'm thinking let's do these little guys purple. Do I have any more? We could do all the dots purple. So it's Trinity Stamps, Deb, and they are, they have some of the coolest stuff. I just used, so I bought, they have, I'll tell you the ones that I bought. No, they're downstairs, but I can tell you, well, you just never know, Julie. You just never know about that. Could be something on the horizon. Deb, Trinity, it's Trinity Stamps. I think it's, you know what, let me look it up. Just give me a sec. Let me finish this. Kind of get on a roll and I can't stop. But it's Trinity Stamps. And they have, like I said, they were the first ones to kind of hit the ground running with the slimlines. You know, I was shocked that it kind of took people a bit to get the ball rolling with the slimlines, because I feel like they, it's just a fresh way to play with your stamps and dies, you know? It's just a fresh way to create cards. All right. Hi, Christian. Okay, I'm gonna grab, sorry about my arm. I'm gonna grab my other iPad here, Electronic Central. And so Deb, if you're on Instagram, if you, I think you're on Instagram, aren't you? Trinity Stamps LLC. They're out of Seattle, Washington, so that's nice. They are, yeah, I have, Nancy, I have found that local stores or online, that's your best bet for slimline stuff, because it's still kind of new in the market. So Scraps of Love has some, like I said, sometimes if you go direct to the manufacturer, that's one way. I changed my mind about the color of this rose, just so you know. I do. So, like I said, there's a, you know what, Nancy? There's a group here on Facebook called Slimline Card Addicts, and they have a plethora of information about different slimline dies, different slimline stamps. Doesn't it? I know, I'm so excited for it, aren't you? I just love color, so you know. So the ones that I have bought and I liked, slimline dies, are Cat Scrappiness. I really like them. I really like Trinity. They have just a quality product. And their customer service is fabulous. Like they're super quick. And, you know, the product is great. Who else do I have slimline stuff from? I have a few slimline dies from a company called Gina Marie Designs, and I like her stuff. So this week I did see the stitched frames. Yes, I have the stitched frame one, Debbie, and I also have the one that has a scallop, I think. And I also bought the envelope maker die for slimlines that they have. I have not played with the envelope part yet, but I have played within that die set, there's a really cool slimline die that is a scallop, like a scallop frame, but the scallop faces the center. Very cool. So I was just playing with that one this morning. So I'll be anxious to tell you like what I find out about that, how it works, all that jazz. Remember the other day when I was showing you all the envelopes I got at Scraps of Love? A couple of the ones that I got are called, what are they called? The policy envelopes. And that's what that die creates. The die from Trinity creates the policy envelope. So I'm just thinking that would be so cool, Debbie, with cut pattern paper or matching cardstock. You could do whatever you wanted, really. Hi, Maria. Holy smokes, you're cooking chili. Do you live in Arizona? What was I just... Oh, purple. I know what I was going to do with that purple. I was just thinking it seems so hot to eat chili here, but... You know, you gotta eat. Although I told you that we went up to that farm and we got some tomatoes, and I am planning on having a tomato sandwich for dinner. I just love a tomato sandwich. Don't you? If you're from the Midwest, I just know you would love a tomato sandwich on white bread with mayonnaise. We've made bruschetta. We've made some guac with them. Oh my gosh. It's just nothing like fresh tomatoes, is there? Nothing. Yes, the envelope with the flap, Deb. Yeah, that's exactly, I just like it because it's just a little more stylized, you know? That's for sure. So what other states are you going to do, Julie? Well, I will have a talk with, I did go to the farm. Yes, I did go to that farm. Mortimer's. I did. They usually, you know what, the whole reason I went there was because they have these beautiful zinnias and sunflowers and black-eyed Susans in their garden, and they sell bouquets for like $5, and they're so beautiful. But alas, there were no bouquets. But I went to Trader Joe's yesterday, next door to Dick Blick's, and I got some more flowers. I had this idea of flowers I wanted to draw, and so I felt like I needed a visual of them, you know? And so, let's see. I know, Debbie, I know. There's nothing like that flavor. Well, I did draw this Bonnie Miller. I have art printables, which are an 8.5 by 11 printable that has artwork for 3 cards, a slimline, an A2, and then an independent piece of artwork. These are all drawn by my own hand with my own pencil and paper. And so you go to my website, and there's a link right here on the on this live, and Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. Hey Sue, I was just talking to my sister about Wisconsin this morning and how we were just there last year and met so many cool people and had such a great time. Oh, that would be so cool, Julie. I am about halfway done. Zucchini tots. Interesting, Keely. Interesting. Thinking that. Come on, look how pretty that is. I'm taking that. Okay, did I? Let's see. I love that you're a history teacher and want to share that with your kids. I think they would really like it. And it gives them a visual, a visual reference, don't you think? I know, I want to know what zucchini tots are too, Nance. So do you shred them like tater tots? Do you shred the zucchini and then make them into tots? Oh, I'm having a water problem here. I just need to add some water to all of my paints so they're ready and waiting for me. Oh, I think I need to realize that this leaf here, this poor leaf was forgotten. There we go. Hi, Melissa. How are you? Are you a card maker? Are you I don't know, scrapbooker, art journaler, all around artsy girl. Hi Debbie, how are you? All right, wrapping it up on this one. Shredded zucchini, cheese, egg, onion, breadcrumb. Oh, that sounds great, Keels. Oh my gosh, and if you have zucchini in your garden, you need all the help you can get, don't you? So can you freeze them after you make them, do you think? Because that seems like it would be a fun thing to have in the middle of winter. I'll have to tell Jeff about that. Yeah, the zucchini does hold so much moisture, doesn't it? But I bet they're good right out of the oven. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the colored pencil part. Because we're about halfway done and I want to make sure that because I'll still be able to show you what I was going to show you on there. But I pulled a bunch of turquoise. Remember we did the monochromatic, let's see if these are the same, like aqua, yeah. Remember we did the monochromatic slimline the other day in pink. I thought we could do the same thing. Oh, I think that sounds cool. I thought we could do the same thing with colored pencils. So I'm just going to start with my lightest color, which is light aqua. And I'm just going to put a very light coating of aqua on this individual piece of artwork. Remember that rounded ends on your colored pencils makes for blending bliss. Pointy, sharp ends are for crisp lines. So when we're coloring like this, when we're just trying to get a base of color down, we want a nice rounded one that's been worn down a little bit. We just want to get a base of color down. And then we're going to come in with the next colors. And we're going to there we go. We're going to start to deepen. So, well, no. First, we're going to do with the same light aqua. So I like to come in right here on the inside of the line. Do you see where I'm going here? On the inside of the black line. So we're just starting to little by little create some depth. And I like to just do that same technique that we've done before, where we just back and forth, right? We're just, but my pencil is barely touching barely touching my paper, and but with that repetition, I'm just following that natural, organic kind of line of the petals of the flower. And so by doing this, we are just starting to create depth in a really organic kind of subtle way. We don't want it to be, for this technique at least, we're not doing something super stark. We're trying to just create a nice subtle depth, like some shadows and highlights. And if you, like I said, if you barely touch your paper, you're still getting color on there. You just need to be patient. And you are, so on this one, because there's this big area, I think I'm going to do the same thing on the back side of this line and down here on this side of this line. Do you see what I'm saying? And we're just going to do that circle blend. Remember, we're barely touching our paper, but we're blending. We're circle, 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 circle. Hi, Lisa. There we go. All right, so now and this is all with this same pencil. Now we're going to come in with aquamarine and cobalt turquoise. So now we're going to come in with the aquamarine, and we're going to do that same thing. But we're just barely touching, but do you see how that's just deepening it just a little bit? So you can do this with 3 pencils. You could do it with all the same pencil if you had limited supplies or you wanted to challenge yourself. Sometimes I just like to challenge myself, like limit my supplies and push my creative muscle a little bit, stretch it out, stretch out my creative muscle. And this is also, remember we talked about getting to know your supplies. This is how you get to know them, by pushing it to its limits. Like how much can I get out of one pencil? This time we're doing, how much can we get out of 3 pencils? I don't use Gamsol very often, Deb. I just think that you can blend, if you barely touch your paper and you use a blending technique like this. So I'm following the line, right? I'm just following the line, repeat, repeat, repeat. And then I just come in and blend with my circle blending. And then I'm going to take that light color again and go over it. But the same thing. I'm going to circle, 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 little bitty circles. And you should get a nice, smooth transition from one color to the next. I don't use Gamsol very much. I do have some, and so we could try that next week if you'd like. Watercolor pencils and Gamsol. What do you think of that? On our new art printables. Oh, I need to finish up with this aquamarine. So you see, you just follow that organic line and just be as light-handed as you can. But if you get a little dark, heavy-handed, don't worry about it. We can fix it. We can fix it. Oh, Denise, I can help you. So seriously, I just took 3 The trick, I think, is a light touch. Just like little by little by little. And just going over that line, going over that line, going over that line. And then coming back with that lighter color and doing that circle blend. Remember we talked about that circle, circle, circle. I kind of like when it has the texture marks from the pencil, because I feel like it just adds a little bit of texture. But if you want it smooth, well, golly, Denise, don't you even worry about it. Gamsol is odorless mineral spirits. That's all Gamsol is. And there's some techniques that we can play with where we blend our Prismacolor pencils with Gamsol. Whoops, whoops, sorry you guys, I hit it. Hey Jennifer, hi Brenda. So coming back in. The trick is just slow and just slow, light bits of color. And just slowly build that color. Okay, so now we're going to come in with our third color, Cobalt Turquoise. And we're just going to do the very edges, right? So there. And again, I'm barely touching my paper. That's the, oh really? Debbie Fredette, that zigzag die is the bomb diggity, and good for you for finding it on sale. I love that zigzag one. I love it. Like, it's become kind of one of my new faves. I saw that Catherine Pooler has some slimline stuff that just came out, I think yesterday. She has some stencils and a couple of dies. I have not played with those, or I haven't even really looked at all of it, so I can't give you an opinion really one way or the other on that. But I did see she has some. I know Lawn Fawn has some, Pink Fresh has some, but the only ones that I can tell you about are the ones that I've used myself. And those are the, okay, so now I did the darkest, right? So now I'm going to come back with that light aqua, and I'm going to do that same little swirl, 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 circle, circle, circle. Bleach embossing ink and black embossing powder. Ooh, all right. Well, I will go look at her video. I mean, don't you think that's one of the cool things about the pandemic, is it has brought out so much creativity in people and generosity of artists to share their techniques and their ideas. I know for me, it is just, it's the way that I can continue to have my artsy community, you know? I like to kind of have time where I can hang out with people who think like me and like the stuff that I like, and get excited about colors as much as I do. So do you see I am barely, again, I'm barely touching my paper, but I'm also doing that circle, 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 circle blend. And that, and don't you think that, Nancy, don't you think that that generosity, though, also shows you what kind of person they are, and it gives us all something else to focus on. I mean, the icky stuff is there. We can't make that go away, except by wearing our dang masks. But we still so if we can't get together in person, I feel like this is the next best thing. And I feel like that's what everybody's kind of doing, you know? Everybody's just trying to find a way to make it work for them. Okay, shut up. I'm loving that. Okay, so for I need to take a drink because I've been blabbing a lot. Oh, don't you think so? Don't you think so, Denise? That, yes, I think that people are, finding ways to, get back to basics and simple pleasures. And I think that can only be a good thing. That can only be a good thing. Okay, so now... Oh, absolutely, Nancy. Absolutely. I'm a firm believer in that. That what you put out, yes, what you put out, you're going to kind of get back in tenfold. So chartreuse, I'm going to start with chartreuse. I don't know why, just feeling it. So I'm just going to do the same idea on the leaf, where I'm just going to lay down a light layer of color, right? And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be having layers and layers and layers on top. So now we have my favorite green, lime peel, and I'm just gonna come in right here where we know it's gonna be darker, right? We know it's gonna be darker right where the flower and the leaf meet, right? We know that there's gonna be a bit of a shadow there. And then I'm feeling like this is such a cool curve right here. Let's really play that up. So we're just going to lightly back and forth, right? And then work it out. Like I'm barely touching the paper. And remember, this is just printed on regular cardstock. So regular cardstock can take watercolor, it can take, I mean, you can't put as much water as you would on watercolor paper, but remember we talked about, you just have to figure out how to make it work for you with whatever supplies you have. Hi, Shelly O'Leary. My best friend from high school, Shelly O'Leary. Holy smokes, do we have some tales to tell. Nothing too torrid. We're two girls that grew up way out in the boondocks, so didn't get in much trouble. And today we would call ourselves nerds, but we kind of were. So now I'm going to take artichoke. I thought that would be fun to try. And I'm doing that same jiggy-jaggy, scribbly kind of blend, right? So the one thing I will tell you about Prismacolors is Prismacolors are pretty waxy. So they, that's why we do light colors, because they can build up on each other, right? But do you see how that's just little by little? It's, so we do the jiggy-jaggy and then we come back in with the circle, circle, circle. Right, because we don't want it to be like a straight line of color. We want it to be, be a nice gradation from one color, like one color to the next. We want it to be kind of as seamless as possible. Right? So now I'm going to come in with the deepest shade, which I have is olive green, and we're just going to do right along the edge, right along the edge. There we go. I'm digging that. And we're just going to come in, back in with that circle, circle, circle. I'm feeling like this should be deeper. So I'm going to come in with my lime peel and deepen that a little bit. And then with my artichoke right there on the edge. So do you see how just doing this, we're going to change the way your eye sees the leaf. Just think about that. The way you apply your color to your images changes the way your eye sees them. So now we're going to come in with just a little bit of olive green. We're going to go under here. So then this looks like a little fold, right? Ta-ta! Ooh, I'm loving that. All right, so now we have a little bit of time, so I wanted to come in and show you how I like to play with colored pencils on top of watercolor. So let's pick Spanish orange. So let's come in here. I'm just going to lay down a little bit of color. I'll do the same thing here. And I know it looks like you can barely see it. That's okay. And then we're going to come in with the next, let's see, what do we have here? Orange and pale vermilion. Let's try pale vermilion first. Just going to come in. See how I'm just little by little, right? Barely touching. We want this to look like it goes right down into the center. Then we're going to come back with that first Spanish yellow. Where's this Spanish orange. We're going to go right over top of it. There we go. See that pretty blend? So you're going to put the light layer down, and then you're going to come in with a little bit deeper shade, and then you're going to come out with that light color again, and you're going to do the circle blend. And you see how that, I do draw them myself, Denise. I do. With a paper and a pencil. No computer. No clip art for me, ever, ever. Hey, Barbara Rainey, how are you? Hi, Annalisa. I didn't see you there. Cool, cool, cool. So let's do that same Spanish orange here. I think we might have done that already. And then we'll come back in with the pale vermilion. Do you see how that just brightens it? Just that little bit of a deeper shade is going to brighten. Then we're going to come back with the Spanish orange, and we're going to go over that. Get a nice blend. Doing that nice jiggy-jaggy, and then come back with the little circles. I'm loving that. Well, thank you, Denise. So now I'm feeling like the for the roses I have poppy red and the pale vermilion again. So I'm gonna do, remember how we did on this rose, I'm gonna kind of do the same technique, but it's gonna be subtler because we have that base of color already, right? I'm gonna go, hey Jennifer, I'm gonna come in near those black lines again. So do you see how that's, I mean, we're just barely, right? But now we're gonna come in with poppy red. I'm gonna deepen it right there, right in the edge. And you notice that I don't go all the way around. I don't do all the entire line. I just do some of it so that it's kind of like where the light hits it or where the shadow hits it. We want it to look really organic, and it's not going to look as dimensional if we do the entire thing, you know what I mean? So now we're coming back in with that. Where am I from? Well, born and raised in Michigan and moved to Arizona. I lived in San Francisco for a while, and then I lived in Texas for a while, and then back to Arizona. I hope you were asking me, or were you asking Jennifer? Let's see. Now we can do these. Keely, how am I doing on time? I really need to like set a clock or something. Or set a timer, I mean. But do you see how just this little bit of added color is totally changes the entire thanks Kills, the entire look of your painting, because you're adding, it doesn't look as flat, right? It doesn't, you've added some more depth. So see, like here I'm feeling like this center is seeming really flat because it's just painted, and by adding that little bit of by adding this little bit of colored pencil, we're really changing the look. Here's another trick, is to, when you do it, sometimes if you're doing a deeper, if you're following like the shape, right, don't go all the way to the edge, go in just a little bit. Do you see how if you go in just a little bit, excuse me, that little bit of light is going to add, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? It's just going to add a little bit more dimension. It's going to add a more sphere-like look versus if I went all the way to the edge with this poppy red. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of that pale vermilion and then that poppy red. Can I tell you, I'm so glad I changed the color of these flowers, of these roses, because I really dig this color. Okay, so for the leaves, we could start with our chartreuse. So I'm just scribbling some base color down, right? Now I'm going to come in with my lime peel. I'm going to deepen it right down there at the base. Again, I'm barely pressing down. And I'm following that natural curve of the leaf. I really like Prismacolors because they are so waxy, because they, then I just feel like you get this nice glide of color. Then you can go back over with your chartreuse. Hi, Renee. And that'll just smooth it out, right? And then we can come in, remember we have this artichoke. That's the one we can come in right there, right next to where the flower and the leaf meet. Ah, I'm loving that. Ta-da! Okay, did I go over? Am I good? I think I'm good. Missouri, where are you from, Missouri, Denise? I have a cousin who lives in St. Roberts. Anywho. I am going to get ready to sign off. I want to make these into some cards today. It's hot outside, so I won't be going outside. I don't know about where you are, but that's so cool. I hope that everybody colors on their art printables, and please be sure to post pictures. If you don't feel comfortable posting them out in the world, you could please post them in our private Facebook group. Everybody is so kind and so generous with their praise and admiration that you're brave enough to share what you're doing. And why wouldn't we be, for crying out loud? It's fabulous, right? It's fabulous. I adore you all, and I'm so grateful. I hope you can feel it from my heart to yours. And Saturday, I'm changing it up, girls. We're going to do a boy artist this Saturday. But I need you to read your emails that I'm going to send out tomorrow. You're going to need your art journal and your artsy arsenal. And if you happen to have markers with a bullet nose, bring those. If you don't have markers, and it can be any marker. It can be any marker. It can be well, you wouldn't want to use your Copics in your art journal, but it could be distress markers or zigs or Crayolas or whatever you want. But we are going to have ourselves a time. I can hardly wait. So I will, until Saturday, go get artsy and then share it with me, and I'll share my stuff with you. And I can hardly wait. I can hardly wait to make more art with you girls. Thanks so much. Bye.